Hey friends, this is Dolynny TV. I know, late, and it's okay. It's okay. It's okay. I am here. We're just taking it slow post trade deadline. The Edmonton Oilers, not much going on obviously post trade deadline. Not much happening across the NHL other than games are being played, Ovi's scoring goals and stuff like that. Well, for the Edmonton Oilers here today, they did find something pretty major to do, which is not a bad thing at all on a Monday. A little tiny bit of business here for Ken Holland in what might be his final season as general manager. Hopefully, setting the Oilers up to kind of have a dynamic off season. This is kind of spurring from the conversation I had with Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic today. We're talking about our new goaltender. We'll get to that in a moment. Friends, if you are new to the channel, consider hitting that subscribe button. That's as much time as I'll waste on that. Let's get to it. We've got a new goalie, Connor Unger, from Calgary, Alberta. Now, technically, if I had to spend any time actually being able to think about this today, as opposed to just literally get home at 9:30 and talk about it, maybe would ask some folks I know in the hockey community to find out some information on this young guy who has signed a new deal with the Edmonton Oilers. He will report to the Bakersfield Condors on an ATO this season, and then obviously his deal kicks in next year, as is per tradition at this time of the year in the NHL schedule. Now that said, for Connor Unger and the Edmonton Oilers, he's a goaltender. He had some pretty stellar numbers with Brock University, and what this really translates to for the Oilers is another goalie in the mix next season. Now, he reports to Condors this year. Is he the starter in Fort Wayne next year? I don't know. Again, I've monitored Fort Wayne this season in the ECHL, just enough following him on social media. It appears that both Brett Brochu and Tyler Parks have suffered some injuries this year. Really, I don't know if there's anything outstanding from either of them that say they're going to be full-time AHLers next year. And I don't know if they're going to be part of the Oilers organization moving into next year. That's all fine for debate. That doesn't really matter, right? I mean, the ECHL situation kind of doesn't matter unless we get our NHL and AHL situation sorted out. As it currently stands, Jack Campbell and Ollie Rodrigue are your tandem at the AHL level. They've been rock solid since the start of Jack Campbell's career down there, and Campbell, after 4 starts, turned it around, and he's been absolutely incredible over the past month and a half. Fair enough. Is Jack Campbell still going to be an Edmonton Oiler after this summer? No, likely not. Almost guaranteed not. The Oilers need that cap space to be able to do other stuff, and one of those things is sign a goaltender to either be your organizational number 3 or your backup. Why I say that is when it comes to Calvin Pickard, he's having a magical season this year career-wise. Compared to his career normals, his career kind of high points, this is one of, if not his best years in the NHL outside of games played. He is having a run at a 30-year-old age or 30-plus age that most NHL goaltenders dream of after spending the majority of their NHL careers bouncing between AHL and NHL. That's fair. However, for Calvin Pickard, obviously, whether he looks to cash in on this or the Oilers look to find somebody else postseason, right after the season at NHL free agency, I don't think, as many Oilers fans would say now, they don't feel comfortable with Pickard as your backup in the playoffs. Thankfully, we have Jack Campbell as our 3, so it kind of builds that depth a little bit more naturally now that Campbell's playing better. But when it comes down to it, Calvin Pickard is, for any Oilers team serious about year in, year out competing for the Cup, likely a number 3. And I think Calvin Pickard, his agent, and the Oilers organization, everybody's aligned that is the case here. So if he wants a backup job, it's likely going to be elsewhere, especially when the Oilers can probably go get a flashier, bigger name for less cap hit than Jack Campbell, but also somebody with a little bit more proven time in the NHL to back up Stuart Skinner next season. So you look at the depth then, you've got Fanti, you've got Rodrigue, you've got Skinner guaranteed, kind of sort of because you got Rodrigue and Fanti's RFA rights. Ryan Fanti was on SOIR this year. He's down in Fort Wayne. He's kind of stalled out in this point of his career, I think, right now with the Oilers. Now, we said that about Ollie Rodrigue a year ago, I think. So, end of the day, goalies are voodoo. Anything could happen. But I think given signing Unger, signing a guy who's got some high potential, 2-year entry level deal, and obviously a guy that I think, right, is going to be in Bakersfield this year for at least portions and will likely bounce between Fort Wayne and Bakersfield next year, either as the 1 or as the 2 or the 3 in Bakersfield. No matter how you slice it, the Oilers are in the market for a goaltender because I just don't see Ryan Fanti coming back if we do indeed keep Ollie Rodrigue and Calvin Pickard moves naturally back to number 3 or moves on. So with Jack Campbell going on the mix, you just kind of, right, with Pickard and Campbell as question marks. Let's put it like that. Now, no matter what Pickard chooses to do, when it comes down to it, Unger is just security within the organization, given that you're probably making a decision on Fanti. Rodrigue is likely your backup, at least to start camp next year. And then you have either a new number 3 or you keep Pickard, whatever the case might be. Now the Oilers too, if they get rid of Campbell, have more cap space. So there's tons that the Oilers can do here with this situation. But again, like I said right off the top, it's a tidy bit of business for Ken Holland just to kind of leave that legacy piece of, hey, at least if you choose to do whatever you want to do, there's one more piece in the organization, as we've talked about undrafted free agents in the college ranks as being a solution to our prospect problem. At least there's one more piece before Holland leaves where he can say, I left you something, right? We've emptied the cupboards pretty hard, but now we have another something in the cupboards going into next season. So you add in that we've got the rights to Taylor via the trade with the Ducks. There's a bunch of little things that Ken Holland has done over the years to kind of try and make sure the very bottom rung of the organization is at least meeting the standard. But I don't think Unger's necessarily bottom rung. I think he's kind of that nice little piece that buffers whatever the Edmonton Oilers want to do this summer when it comes to their goaltending. Although many will argue they need to upgrade, I think Rodrigue's the natural fit, at least to start camp. That's kind of the discussion Patrick from the Oilers Fanatic and I had this evening prior to me recording this video, is that's the natural fit right now. Now free up cap space, moving Campbell, Pickard going wherever, whenever, doing whatever, kind of solves another issue if you're looking for an organizational number 3, or he just goes back there. I don't know, right? Is he going to be happy after posting a career year to be the starter in Bakersfield next year? Probably not. But again, right, is the free agent market is cruel sometimes. The free agent market is an unknown all the time. And end of the day is sometimes you just have to go with what you know. So, I mean, I don't want to say Calvin Pickard's out the door, but he's probably also likely not getting the same job given how Rodrigue, alongside Campbell, has progressed this season. So, friends, lots to chew on. I've explained as much as I think I know. So, if you want to add anything to the conversation, let me know. But this is a promising young goaltender in Connor Unger, at least at a depth position for the Edmonton Oilers organization. I am up on out of here.